Everybody, welcome back or welcome to my new channel. This channel is about faith, family, lifestyle, and business. Business, ministry, all of that good stuff. And I did have this channel previously, but this is like a reintroduction of who I am now and my new beginnings in this new phase of life. If you don't know my name by the title or the name of the channel, I am Sierra Currie, and I am a daughter of God first, but I'm a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend. I am that sister girl, sister, and everything like that. So I had to make this channel. It only made sense in this time. And this channel will be a different vibe than the previous videos that I have on here, which consists of my business that I had as a makeup artist. I did makeup art. I've done makeup for probably about 5 years before I retired. I did retire. I say I retired. I'm a retired makeup artist, and I am currently 29 years old. I just turned 29 on July 2nd this year in 2022. So maybe I'll put some little confetti on the video. My birthday just passed, but at this point in my life, I'm just so thankful. I'm in a stage of being thankful for being here to still be able to be um, living in purpose and do the things that God has taught me to do. And if you've been on similar journey of finding yourself and knowing whose you are and who you are in this world, you just get to a point of just being thankful throughout whatever process you're going through in your journey. Whether it looks bad, it looks good, you're on the high up or the low, you are just thankful. And that's where I am. It's just a beautiful thing to be in this point in time. So, yeah, this is kind of introduction, but just a little bit of background. When I Before I started doing makeup and all that stuff, I always been into entrepreneurship, like since high school. And entrepreneurship, I knew about it from my mom, as well as my the father figure that was in my life. There were entrepreneurs in my family, not the closest ones to me, but it just was something that I knew about, and I always wanted to get into it. But in school, I always was into art. Art was my thing. I have skills. They tell me I got skills, but no. And art, and I've had art in museums. I've had art in contests and won and made money off my art and things like that. So growing up, I just loved art and thought that art would be a part of my future and my career and part of my purpose. And when I moved on to getting out of high school, everybody's like, what is next? What you're going to do? And I went straight into cosmetology school. And when I did that, I enjoyed the makeup portion and thought it was, just going to be about makeup. But of course, you learn how to do everything else from hair to nails to feet, pedicures, all that good stuff, and facials. But of course, I wanted to focus on makeup. And I did do my hair a lot, and I do know how to do my hair, which I did right now. Like this hairstyle that I have is done by me. And when I would go out, I would always be like a billboard for myself, and not necessarily to advertise. I just love doing my own stuff and being creative. And when people would see me, they would be like, oh, who did your hair? Who did your makeup? I need their information. And when I told them myself, I did it, and they would want to get it done by me as well. So that's how I built my clientele even while in school. I had clientele and grew, and so on and so forth. I didn't even go crazy with it, and I honestly never went crazy with, um, publicizing my business or anything that I did. I've never had a sense of pushing what I did. I just always felt like, I was very, what's the word? I was just very gentle with how I presented my business. I didn't ever say, "Hey, I'm a makeup artist. Hey, if you ever need," like I never was pushy. You have salespeople, right? I was not a salesperson. I just was loving my joy of being a creative and doing my own makeup and hair. It just, I love doing the work and being behind the scenes, but not the person to advertise it and stuff like that. So moving forward, like even my art in the past, they were always publicized by my teachers or those who really believed in what my gifts and talents were. I just didn't ever take the time to publicize myself. And yeah, I love focusing on the creativity side, the creative side. So after that, I moved forward and I just had a very clear vision at this time, and I was in the back seat of a car, maybe riding with my mom or something, and I look up and see this billboard. It was so dope. I don't remember what was on the billboard, what it said, none of that. I just was like so drawn to it in the fact that it was art, and it wasn't even like a colorful art. I just know that it was something that I said, that's something I want to do. And as soon as I got that revelation, I moved forward and went to look into signing up in school for that particular field. I didn't know what it was called at the time, and this was around 20, sheesh, what was that, 2012? I would say 2012. And when I went there, I this was like the Art Institute or something. I was like, digital art. This is something I called it. I didn't know what it was. I said I wanted to do digital art, and there was like different, majors you could sign up for. And what they explained to me was it was called graphic design. What I was particularly looking to sign up for, and the expenses. mm, the expenses I did not was not financially stable to join that particular school, so I did end up going to a local community college for my education in graphic design, and that's back there what I have my degree in, or one of my degrees in. So that is what happened. I moved forward and kept doing what I felt I was led to do and getting creative in different spaces. And it still revolved around art. That it was always instilled in me to do some type of form of art, whether it was makeup, I did hair, and then moving into graphic design. And it was like a 4 year experience. So that ended up turning into, or moving forward into 20, let's say 2014. No, 2015. I believe I graduated. Somewhere around there, 2015, 2016. Let's not put a date on it. Let's see. No, nothing on there. But yeah, I'll have to do a whole background of that because this is not, full story video. It's just a little introduction of me. So when I did that, I moved forward, and eventually, when it came around to, oh, and I had my son at 2014. So in 2014, and I was still in school at the time, still got it done. So there's no excuses, guys. I did have help, so I'm not saying if you are a struggling mom or single mother that you should be able to do these things. But there are a lot of more resources now, as far as like childcare or things like that. But this is my story. So moving forward, graduating, moving on to the experience of being a graphic designer with a company, and then eventually started my own company of graphics, and that rolled into 2019. So much had happened in my life going into 2019, and it was like a big transformation for me. And that was only, what is it, 3 years ago. So that time for me, I would say, was like, I wouldn't say awakening, but it was such a key point in my life, and or an explanation point in my lifespan because it I had went through so much, and so much had changed in a quick, drastic amount of time, and not anything that brought me so low to where I lost everything, and not something super dramatic like that, but I lost myself. So I guess that is dramatic. I lost myself in that time frame, transitioning and things like that. Um, yeah, so I was about to turn 27, and this time was like, Lord, I feel like this is such a big change for me. And especially when you're younger, and I had a mindset of when I turn 25 or when I turn 30, I'm going to be a millionaire and things like that. I always had this feeling of being a millionaire, that I was meant to be a wealthy woman. And of course, I thought it would be at a young age. And now that I'm 29, it's like, okay, I know it's still something that is on my life, but it was in my plans to have it early. But in that same sense, token, 2019, I started my company, and when I did, I stopped doing makeup. Like, God led me to stop everything I was doing, and you guys can read this on my website. I have a testimony or background story of myself, but I had a hair company too. I had a hair business. I may actually even have some bags in here. But yeah, I had a hair company and everything. So I was doing a lot, and everything was just changing so quickly. But God was still with me and leading me throughout this entire journey, from youth to growing up to transition out of the life that I was having, doing makeup and hair and all that stuff. Is it bright enough? Hopefully you guys can see me pretty good. But when that happened, everybody knows in 2020 what happened. And God had prepared me to go digital. Like, He's like, stop everything. Don't do makeup anymore. Don't sell hair. Don't do hair. Focus all your energy on doing websites and graphics. And that's what I did. So when I did, I was prepared for 2020. Everyone wanted to get online, and things were going great in the beginning, right? The beginning was always amazing. But what happened to me again, that 2019 was such a transition into who I was starting to become, and in my new stage of adulthood. And when I got into a little bit of what success could look like in the beginning of 20, or like going into mid 2020, because that was one of my best times in business, but it also was one of my failing times because I did not know how to take the coming of customers. The income was, going good and flowing good, but then I encountered a break within myself, and I could no longer handle things mentally. So it did affect my business. It affected me mentally, emotionally, and of course spiritually. But I was in a very state of not knowing what to do and how to move forward. I didn't have a mentor on the side of a successful business, something that really flourished to where I'm headed now. I didn't have anyone to teach me like numbers and stewarding and things like that. So it was very unbalanced. It was very imbalanced. But long story short, now here I am still learning, right? We're always going to be learning. But here I am now with a newfound understanding with my new relationship with God, because I did get in a very religious mindset with my during my transition, because when you are in a transition, you can either overlean in one area, and then be dependent on someone or something versus trusting fully in God. And I didn't know how to have a true relationship with God. I didn't know how to approach Him correctly, but I prayed, and He sent me answers and ways to communicate with Him and to receive such an encounter with the Holy Ghost. It was just very, very eye opening, and that was what I consider my awakening. And I'll do a video on my experience of this encounter, where it started, because it didn't start. It didn't start at the encounter. The encounter, it took a process to get there, because I didn't have anyone personally deliver me from these new chains that I didn't know could exist. Right? I knew I got free from other things in my past sins, but and right, we sin every day, but in this portion in my time, I thought I was doing things right. I knew I wasn't perfect, but I did think my religious relationship was a relationship. So now, this point in my life, I am focused on being led by God in every area, every aspect. Whatever He calls me to do, I'm going to do it no matter what it looks like. And if I don't, I definitely get convicted, but at the same time, God's grace is sufficient. So I am just thankful, and I am welcoming you guys on this journey, this new beginning, and also welcoming the women who join me on this channel to the ministry that God has given me, which is Pioneer Woman. I have a book that is coming soon. You have the opportunity to pre-order, but I will be doing more promotion once it gets close to that time. But that's just something that you guys can also know about me. Um, and I'm excited. The Pioneer Woman movement or ministry is something God has given me after my encounter, and it was so amazing how He gave it to me, which I'll explain in another video also. But it's something that is promoting women who believe and God and Jesus is our pioneer. He is someone that we look to. He's the author and finisher of our faith, and we build on that foundation so that we have something that is lasting. Whether we may not be the very first to do a thing, but in our way that God has called us to do it, it is something new, and it is something that no eyes have seen. And my God, the journey is very important. The journey is unique. to each of us. And it's beautiful to tell my story, but to come together and know that we're not alone in this journey of pioneership, is what I call it. And I'm excited. I'm excited to have you guys engage, comment, send an email, or, request, some more information, or just have a prayer that you want to join in on. And also some more things to come. More things to come. I'm excited to release those things when, I'm told that I can release these things by the Spirit. And once I'm released to release these things, they aren't something that you would have been experienced before. It's something that we're going to dive deep in our spirit to understand and have knowledge on, so that we can continue this journey together and individually, because we all have our own individual process. But a lot of these things will be free to you guys. It won't be a high ticket on things that I'm just pouring out, but I know it's gonna be amazing because it's already blessing me. So when I share it, I pray that it blesses others. I pray that everyone receives even more than what I've received. So my portion is just an overflow, and to pour out as much as I can, but also showing you guys how to do things on your own. But this is just an introduction. So welcome to my channel. Join in on the podcast on the website. The link will be below. The link is in my bio and the on the YouTube. So yeah, join me, guys. I'm excited for this journey to share it. I will be doing things outside of this space, but you'll see this space a lot, especially when I'm doing a one-on-one like conversation with you all. But yeah, I be outside. I do things outside of work, so I definitely want to share those things as well. As a pioneer woman, we do have lives outside of ministry and business, and how to do these things, live, look, and just share that. So I know I'm rambling now at this point because I'm so excited. But thank you all for watching this first new reintroduction video, and also for joining in on this journey and learning as you go, and continuing this journey without giving up. And subscribe, like, and subscribe to this channel. Comment, share the video with those that you feel like would love to join in the pioneer woman movement, because that's what a lot of that is going to be on this channel, as far as like the free classes and more podcast stuff. So yeah, welcome you guys. So love you. Peace and blessings, and I pray you all have a wonderful rest of this week, because it's a Sunday on today and this week, or when you get to watch it. I pray that you have a blessed week. All right. See you soon. Bye.